Welcome back to Connect. In the first part of the show, we were talking about the 65th anniversary of the Western Development Museum. There's another institution in our province getting ready to mark a major milestone, 60 years of Camp Easter Seal. Here to talk about it are Sue Wynne from Camp Easter Seal and Bruno Konecsni from the Draggins Car Club. Of course, the Draggins Car Club, the annual show, one of the big fundraisers for Camp Easter Seal. So we thought this was an appropriate location here at the WDM to have you guys. Bruno, this has got to be like heaven for you coming to the WDM with all the cars they've got over here.
Absolutely. As long as I carry my handkerchief around and wipe up the drool, I think they let me come in and look around. Yeah, some of them are very, very nice restorations of all those automobiles that actually helped build this province.
Just talk, first of all, the preparations. What goes into putting this show together?
Well, every show starts about 18 months before it's actually on,
Wow.
where we start with the production process of making sure we have space to have the show, and then the preliminary work to design and develop what's going to happen at that particular show. And then the gathering of information, the gathering of cars, the invitations for people to come and enter their car at our car show, and all of the logistical arrangements for that to happen, and then all of the work with the media in the city to help promote the fact that the car show is there, and working with Camp Easter Seal and Sue around, okay, so what are our needs? What are we looking at doing for the next little while? Just this fall, we've commissioned the building of another cabin at camp that should be open hopefully around June for some more campers to use and enjoy, which allows campers with some more acute kind of issues to actually stay overnight rather than be bussed in back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. The show, of course, as we mentioned, Sue, in support of Camp Easter Seal. Talk a little bit about what the support of Draggins means to you and how important it is for people to go to this show to help fund everything you do.
Well, certainly with their support, we're able to provide a lot of different programs and to provide a service, for the Saskatchewan people that may not have a chance to go to any other kind of camping facility, because Camp Easter Seal is 100% wheelchair accessible, which means if you are in a wheelchair, if you have a walker or any sort of mobility issue, you're able to go anywhere on camp. So that is something that, it's very valuable to people with disabilities, especially physical disabilities. And we are one of the only camping facility that accepts campers with level 4 type care. And these individuals may be totally dependent on us to provide every single aspect of their care for them. So, every single person in Saskatchewan benefits from what we do and from what the Draggins do for us at Camp Easter Seal.
So 60 years of providing these opportunities. That's pretty incredible. Again, we were talking in the first half of the show about the foresight of creating a Western Development Museum. That's some pretty impressive foresight as well. Creating this type of facility, making camp accessible to everyone, really.
Exactly. And we, ultimately would like to have the theme of community inclusion, just to make sure that every child, every youth, and every adult has the ability to be included in every aspect of their life in the community. And that is exactly what Camp Easter Seal stands for, and that's why the Draggins have been our longtime supporter for this vision that we have. So.
Absolutely. Bruno was talking about the construction of a new cabin. Of course, all of these things cost money. It's not cheap. It's, I'm guessing, significantly more expensive than your typical camp. Costs something like $1,500 to send a kid for a week.
Yes.
So fundraising, extremely important to you folks.
Exactly, yes. And every time that we have to purchase any type of equipment, any type of regular camping equipment, it sort of doubles or triples in price just because it is for a special needs type camp, and we do have to have it work for our type of campers. So certainly, we do rely a lot on people like Bruno and the Draggins Car Club to support us in our cause and give us that extra help in time of need when we have to purchase items such as building this cabin. So.
And Bruno, for you folks with the Draggins Club, why is Camp Easter Seal so important? How did you choose this charity, and why have you stuck with it all these years? This is a pretty impressive dedication.
Yeah, we see it as a reciprocal arrangement. Many car clubs have come and gone, and very often I get asked the question, so how come you guys have stayed together for so long? Because we're now celebrating our 58th year as an organization. And it's said because we have a focus of what we're doing and why we're doing it. We put on a car show, first off, to establish a competitive event for people in our hobby. Secondly, to put on family entertainment so that young people and of all ages can come and enjoy some of those older vehicles and some of those newer vehicles and reminisce about what that was like in their lifetime. And the third reason we do that is to raise money for a worthwhile community activity. And many years ago, a member of our club had a daughter who required special prosthetic work to provide her some ambulatory ability. And that's kind of what got us started. And right about the time when our show started to actually make some money, we looked at each other and said, well, what are we going to do with this? And that's what happened, is that discussion around, well, why don't we commit to providing a world-class camp facility to children and adults with disabilities? Because they weren't getting that kind of support that we saw other organizational activities get. We saw this as a very nice match for what we were trying to do, and it's been a nice partnership ever since. So they say thank you to us for raising money and providing that glimpse of hope for campers, and we say thank you for giving us a purpose. And I remember one particular interview where somebody said, well, so what does that really mean, as far as you know, to a camper? And I related back a story that took place when we opened the aquatic facility at camp. And a 12-year-old camper was asked to be the first camper to try the pool and then describe that at the opening ceremony. And there were government dignitaries all around. And she said, you know, Mr. Wilhouse, you said that this was going to be a very nice pool, but you didn't say it would be heaven. Poor Roy Romano was up at the mic next and said, so what do I say after that? So those are the kind of ways we find out how meaningful this is to those campers who are really looking forward year after year to that facility. And as I understand it, unfortunately, we can't have everybody every year who wants to go either, because of the limited space that there's there. So obviously, people really look forward to going, and we're trying to make it as world-class a camp as possible.
Absolutely. Sue, you must have a bucket load of stories like that. You get to see it each and every year. You're out there at camp. The difference this makes to these young people. It's got to be pretty incredible.
It is. It's amazing. Like, I mean, all the hard work that we do in the fall and in the winter, you know, to come out there in the summertime. And I do get to talk to a lot of the campers, but I'm more drawn to the campers who are not able to speak, who are nonverbal. And I approach them and I sit with them, and you know, the glimpse in their eye is just the magic that it's brought to them and the effect that it has on them, despite that they can't let me know verbally. It's just amazing. Like, I just can't, it sends shivers down my spine. Like, it's an amazing feeling. And to think of that moment, all my hard work, it's paying off. It's all worth it, you know. So it's a great feeling.
I was lucky enough to spend some time out at camp last summer seeing the programs that you have available. It's really incredible the way it's grown. I mean, just the art program that you're going. There's so many of these things that probably many of us take for granted that we've all been able to do since childhood. But for some of these people, this is probably their first exposure to being able to swim, being able to do these type of art projects. It's really grown tremendously over the years.
Exactly. Like, we have our typical regular programs, and then we've also introduced water skiing. You know, the first time a child sits on a sit ski to be pulled by a speedboat, you know, it's just an amazing feeling for them. They're so scared at first, and they're so you know, not sure what to expect, but they try it. It's the first time, and we're giving them that opportunity to do that. And it's amazing. After they're done, they say, I want to do that again, you know, and this is coming from a child that's so scared and possibly maybe crying, or, you know, inside, or trying to talk himself into doing that activity. But after he completes it, amazing. Like, just a wonderful feeling for him.
Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you, Sam.
And of course, a big thank you to the folks here at WDM for talking about their 65th anniversary and allowing us to take over some of the space to shoot our show. I'm Simon Hyatt. Thank you for watching as well. Don't forget, you can connect with us on Facebook, through Twitter. You can email shawtvconnect@shaw.ca, or you can call 306-665-3796. We want to hear what you have to think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Connect.